Okay, so welcome everyone. Please remember that the meeting is being recorded. My name is Adam Rosman. I will be the host on today's Metal3 Community meeting. Today is 9th of February 2022, Wednesday, and as usual, let's start with the introduction. So if you are new to the meeting, haven't been here before, please introduce yourself if you'd like. Okay, I think there are nobody who are doing some introduction. So let's go on to the first agenda point. It's from Ricardo, documentation on how to extend CI, build custom CI jobs, etc. Please.
Yeah, hi, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I put a question before on Slack this morning about building having a variant of the integration test that we are running on the ironic image to be able to test the ironic image from source, which is a variant that we introduced last year, actually, in November. And I actually haven't had the time to have a look at anything related to the CI yet, but I was just looking around and I failed to find any documentation whatsoever about how to have this kind of customization. So I was wondering if, apparently, it seems that we don't have that documentation, although we are using some variants for like CI jobs, for example, the variant running on CentOS. And yeah, I mean, it would be just great to have documentation or at least some pointers, some basic stuff like a document or something like that, some pointers basically to understand how we are how we are building and customizing the CI jobs.
I think Ferus have raised his hand, please.
Yeah, hi. So yeah, it's unfortunately we don't have documentation
Yeah,
how to extend our CI apart from the trigger phrases. So we can help you with that. I think this Ericsson team is like mainly maintaining the CI, and
all
we
right.
can also make sure that we also write at least some minimalistic document how to extend. But apart from that, all the I think you were talking about Jenkins jobs, because this one, for example, that you
Yeah,
mentioned, it's Jenkins based, and all the Jenkins declarative pipelines are in metalcube.io/project infra repository. That those can
okay.
be like good examples as the base, but even apart from this call, like whenever you have time, like we can sync up and I can even like do the walkthrough just to give an idea how things are
Yeah,
working on.
that would be great. I mean, I have my experience with Jenkins, but of course, what's missing here for me,
Yeah.
of course, it's understanding how we are, like where the configuration is and what are like what we are doing in terms of customization, in terms of building new jobs. So yeah, that would be great if you had the time.
Sure. One more
Thanks.
question. Are you planning um, to have this sort of job that will be building the ironic from the source for every pull request in
No, no. This should be, so since our preferred way to build the ironic image and any other image related to that is using RPMs because of like different reasons. But this is a different topic. This is just to verify that the source build is actually working when we have like a big change, for example, in the images, and it's not a job that will run. It will definitely not be required. It's just for us to understand that everything is all right with maybe some like big change, for example.
Okay. Okay, understood. So yeah, so then you probably also don't want to have it like as a periodic job, not on the pull request. For example, right now we have periodic jobs and then we have pre-submit jobs. Periodics are running like from the master code of dev, for example, BMO, Capem3 are running image, blah, blah, blah. And then we have like pre-submit jobs that we have made them as required on every pull request. But in this case, perhaps we could make it periodic, but the frequency can be a bit longer, or we could just create a job and have like specific trigger phrase. And whenever you feel that, okay, now it's time that I want to test this either on a pull request or you want to trigger from the Jenkins Web UI, then you can do it either way.
The latter definitely sounds like what I had in mind. So having the possibility to trigger the job whenever we need, and I don't think even a periodic is needed, to be honest. It's just literally when there is a change that it seems like it could break the source, then we run it and see how it goes. That's all.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good. I think it shouldn't be like complicated. It's just a couple of parameters that we can configure. So let's have a call whenever suitable. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you, Feroz. Yeah, just my input on this. The CI is a bit fragmented in a sense that there are things in Gerrit, in Nordics Gerrit, that control the jobs themselves, like the GJBs, the job descriptions, because we use Jenkins Job Builder from the OpenStack project, and then there is this. There are two different repositories in the MetaQ project itself, or more like one in the MetaQ project and one is in Nordics, and that basically contain these the jobs that we are running under the MetaCube and MetaCube main. So it's anyways would be nice to have some documentation for newcomers and even for people who are working on this still. I think we could create an issue, don't you think, Feroz, on the documentation, the MetaCube docs related to CI, the same way as you have created these for the book. So it could be part of the book that would explain where are things located.
Yeah, I'm actually +1 for that personally. Yep, that's a good point.
Yeah, and because I understand it's not that that simple to grasp. Okay, thank you everyone. Let's continue. That's from you, Feroz. A GTM request.
Oh yes, just wanted to ask if I can have an LGTM on host data CR proposal. It's been approved by Andrea and Zane already, and I remember Zane had some comments. I think there were just minor comments, and I've addressed it. And there was one more that I have replied, and then I was on vacation, so that's why I couldn't like bring it up to the previous community meetings. But I feel that there is, at least from my side, there is nothing to be improved, or I have answered to the questions. And if there is another question or more questions, I'm happy to answer or just clarify. But otherwise, I would really like to get it merged and try to bring the implementation patch soon in the BMO. Yeah, that's all from myself.
So I had a quick glance at this yesterday, and I had a comment in there about the like there was one point where we're like giving up and reporting an error.
Yeah.
Because something was missing.
Yeah.
And I noticed that's still in there. I guess you're not planning to update that.
Yeah, are you talking about this the error state, like if the host data is missing? Like I remember I mentioned that if
Yeah, that
the
one.
host is provisioned and we for some reason we lose the host data CR, then yeah, this one, then we enter into the error state. And so I still think that it's good to have this as it is, like to enter the error state, because as like mentioned there, like specifically for pivoting, this whole idea came to my mind, like from our side is specifically for pivoting. And if we don't enter into the error state, then user has no idea that if it's a good or bad to go for the pivoting. And when you're going to pivoting, then since the host data is missing, BMH will have to go through another round of provisioning, first deprovision and then provision, because host data is missing. And this is the case when we're going to have the API bump. I mean, when we're not going to have inspection data in the status of the BMH, when there will be only the host data CR as the source of inspection data. But otherwise, like, yeah, that's what I think. I don't know what you think about this pivoting.
Well, I guess you have to ask yourself how it could be missing.
Yeah. But,
like, I mean, we're creating it. We're creating it with, like, we're adding a finalizer to it. We're creating it in such a way that, like, it has its own RBAC control that the user's normally not going to touch it.
Yeah.
Like, if, like, in your Bootstrap cluster, the user comes along, deletes that thing, and removes the finalizer, like, that's not something that happens by accident.
Correct.
Like if it breaks after that, you get to keep both bits, I feel like.
Yeah, that's a valid point. I mean, if someone is trying intentionally to delete the host data, then it's the user's fault. I agree. It was just that I was thinking kind of the corner case that the user somehow accidentally deleted, but the accidental deletion is also not that easy. I mean, you should do it intentionally, not just by some accident.
Yeah. I mean, your Bootstrap cluster isn't going to be up for that long. Like,
yeah.
Like I would expect that process to normally be completely automated by cluster control, and like you wouldn't even look at it unless something went wrong.
Yeah.
Let alone go in there and delete stuff. So yeah, I'm just not sure that's like, I'm not sure that's a real case that we like need to handle with all the extra complexity of like having error stats and that kind of thing.
All right. Yeah, I can update that. I think I have mentioned about these finalizers and the process, how the deletion would happen, and how this host data is tightly coupled to the bare metal host. So in that case, I'm not sure if Andre is on the call. Yeah, I think he's not on the call, but then I will update this part. Remove this in the error state, and apart from that, I think we're good to go, right, Zane?
Yes, yeah, I think that's
awesome. Cool. Then
I think it's in good shape, and like whatever code you have is probably fine. But yeah,
sure.
I think the simplest way to handle it is like if we have data in one place and not the other, then we just copy what we have. So they're both in sync, and then we're done.
Okay. Yep, that sounds good. Thanks a lot. I will update it and ping you on the pull request then.
Cool. Thanks.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Thanks. Let's continue. We have one agenda point from Furkat. CAPM3 V1 Alpha 4 support will be dropped. 2 weeks of lazy consensus has been agreed. Please let us know if you have any objection before we move on with these changes. Yes, so this ties back to, I think it was the January 26th meeting, yeah, where we mentioned this originally. And yeah, that's basically the situation. Furkat, would you like to add something to this?
Hey, no, yeah, thanks. That's it. That's a small update that we'll be dropping the support, and notice on the bare metal Slack channel has been sent, and also on the Metal3 mailing list. So yeah, if you have any objections on these changes, please let us know. Yeah, there is an issue and PR link that I pasted here. Please take a look, and yeah, if there are no objections after 2 weeks, then we can most probably go ahead with it. Yeah, thanks.
There are a couple of conditionals also in Metal3 Dev and for CAPM3 V1 Alpha 4. Does it also include the removal from there?
No, actually, this is removing the V1 Alpha 4 from CAPM3 main branch, and also we will be removing the main CI jobs for V1 Alpha 4. But on pull requests, you can still run the V1 Alpha 4 of CAPM3. So that means all the changes in Metal3 Dev will stay, and like you can run the integration tests whenever. So I think you are talking about the N03 script, right? That you added a part where.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah. No, that will stay there, and you can still rely on that. If that's
I would be happy when I see it removed, because it is pretty customized conditional I added.
Yeah, we from our side, from Ericsson's side, that there are some customers that will be using it for now, and
okay,
they're relying on it, and but they're not using it from the main branch of CAPM3 because we already have a release branch for that API, and they'll be relying on that. And to not completely get rid of the CI, we just removing the main, but as I said, on pull request, you can still run it. And that part will be needed where you added that change.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, Furkat.
Thanks.
I think there's nothing to note here. I think we can continue to the next agenda point. That is from Leonard. Can I have approval for these make targets in BMO?
Yeah, I think Dimitri has had a comment. I answered there, but yeah, I'm not sure if do we need it was just there a little bit up. But yeah, if you think it's good to go, I think we can take this in. Is Dimitri here, by the way? I didn't see.
I'm checking. No,
maybe not.
No,
No.
I think no. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I can also post it on Slack, and he can take a look since he was reviewing it already. So.
Okay. Yeah, I see that you are already in the process of handling it, the two of you. Thank you.
Thanks.
And I think that's all. So as closing, I would like to mention that now that we have the triage labels everywhere, so actually combed through all of the repositories in the MetaCube project that are not archived. So everything has the triage accepted label that is accepted, and then it's triage that's not for those that are not accepted. So now you can filter for those labels, and you can find new issues easily. And I have seen that the community already started to using it and started to use this whole triaging process on a per issue basis. So that's good. I'm happy to see that. And yeah, just to have like mentioned it in the recording, last week we had a discussion about this meeting time. I believe that was last week. Yeah, the meeting time zone. Now there were pro and contra things about that, but we ended up merging the 14 UTC and selected UTC and 1400 as like the final meeting time. I know for local times, for some people, this will fall after work hours, and for some people it's suboptimal. Dimitri mentioned. For me too, and I think the EST team, everybody will have meetings later, but like in the summertime, they will. This will be generally after normal work hours a bit, but I think, and I checked it, checked the time zones. This is the most inclusive time that we could have selected, and we agreed with Zane's idea that, or like Zane's approach, that if it's in any regional time zone, then it would cause confusions, and also we would need to change it all the time. So UTC is the one, and it's 1400. Yeah, I just wanted to mention it on the recording. And I think we still need to send out the new like the updated requests, and I like updated, not requests, meeting invitations, and I think we will handle it with Ferus. Yes, that's it. Do you have anything that you would like to change, or any improvements that you would like to see in the meeting related to anything? Because if nothing, then I thank you for your attendance, and have a nice rest of the day, and see you next week when we will have some triaging also. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thanks, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
So,
Thank you, Adam. Bye.
bye.
Thanks, Adam.